Look, I mean, obviously it starts off at CES, where I think that Jensen's speech on that Monday is going to set the tone setter, right?
Yep.
In terms of autonomous, robotics, physical AI. But look, I think the reality is that despite a lot of the haters and the bears in hibernation mode, it is going to be, I think, just a booming year for AI and tech stocks, especially in the first half of the year. I think investors are underestimating specifically on software. Like we talk about not just Palantir, but MongoDB, Snowflake, a lot of the infrastructure plays, Nebius, and some of those others. It's about the derivative plays, the second, third, fourth derivatives, CrowdStrike, cybersecurity, Palo Alto. And I think what we're going to see play out, Microsoft, Oracle. Look, I think we sit here a year from now. Oracle is the name that I think investors are just throwing in the garbage. That's the one I think investors are getting.
Why is that?
Because it's the view, like, taking on debt, open AI is not going to be good for their bill. Look, if you look at any open AI related tech stock, from AMD to Microsoft to Oracle, those stocks have sold off significantly. And I think the reality is this is an AI revolution where you're in, we talk about the AI party, it's 10:30, 10:45 p.m. Party goes to 4 a.m., start at 9 p.m. And OpenAI is going to play a huge role in that in the infrastructure build out. So to me, Paul, it's like I think like tech stocks, they're up 25%.
Really? 25 and 2026. But I mean, is that the big names like Nvidia? Because I think to myself, lots of competition out there for them. First of all, supply chain challenges continue, but you've also got Google and Amazon, big competitors who are playing catch up with Nvidia. Can it really hold on to that momentum in 2026?
Look, there's only one godfather of AI. He's wearing a black leather jacket. His name's Jensen. And I think, look, they are 5 years ahead of any other competitor. That's why, look, for them, like even their third best chip, restricted H200s,
right,
in China, despite whatever the politics, Baba, JD, Tencent, they want those chips. Because it comes down to like, they are so many years ahead of competition. I think, but look, AMD, that's going to be a major play that we see playing out. And then I think you start to look at like what Google's doing, what Microsoft is doing in this chip world. It's in an AI arms race, but here's the deal. For the first time in 30 years, U.S. is ahead of China when it comes to tech.
How about that?
That is, I think that's really like the most important thing here. That's
and it's getting lost in the sauce, I feel, what you just said.
Well, it is. Because for so many times, like I'd be in Taiwan, 18 hours, seeing like factory fabs, then land in Newark Airport, there's some fist fight Dunkin' Donuts, and you're like, wow, we are like so behind. Now, switch.
About 3 years have passed since generative artificial intelligence, AI, was first introduced to the world via OpenAI's ChatGPT, and the industry is still growing rapidly. Given that businesses are still spending billions on Nvidia's state-of-the-art computer gear, this trend is great news for the company. The chipmaker is able to sustain very high growth and profit margins because demand continues to exceed supply. The same elements that contributed to Nvidia's 2025 success are still at work in 2026. Additionally, the company's core business is so solid that, when compared to earnings and growth, its $4.63 trillion market cap appears acceptable. Nevertheless, it is unclear how the generative AI prospect will develop, which could hurt the stock. To find out what might happen next, let's investigate further. The stock of Nvidia is not in a bubble. The affordability of Nvidia's stock is arguably its most unexpected feature. With a forward price-to-earnings, PE, multiple of 25, shares are actually trading at a steep discount to other large tech stocks, such as Apple and Amazon, which have projected PEs of 28 and 33 respectively, and are somewhat less expensive than the Nasdaq 100 projection of 26. When you take into account Nvidia's rapid expansion, this truth becomes even more startling. Driven by success in Nvidia's data center sector, where it records sales of its powerful graphics processing units, GPUs, for running and training large language models, LLMs, third quarter revenue jumped 62% year over year to a record of $57 billion. Sales of the new Blackwell GPUs are off the charts, and demand is growing at an exponential rate, according to CEO Jensen Huang. Nvidia's net income increased 65% year over year to $31.9 billion, and its margins are still excellent. With a $62.2 billion approved stock repurchase program, Nvidia returns this money to shareholders by lowering the number of outstanding shares in order to increase profits per share. EPS. These figures show that Nvidia's stock is by no means a bubble. As we move into 2026, it actually appears to be a great deal. Sadly, though, there is a catch. The AI sector may be in a bubble, but Nvidia stock isn't. When a stellar firm like Nvidia is valued at a fairly average level, it indicates that the market has doubts about the company's ability to survive. Additionally, as 2026 approaches, more analysts are becoming concerned about AI expenditure in the U.S. economy. Goldman Sachs estimates that by 2026, the capital expenditures for AI by hyperscalers, basically cloud computing companies, could reach an astounding $527 billion. These businesses' management either thinks they will eventually make a return on their investment, or they just don't want competitors to have a sustained advantage. However, it's uncertain how long shareholders will put up with these extremely risky withdrawals when the funds could be used for dividends or buybacks. On the consumer side of AI, however, shockingly little money is being made. For instance, according to Deutsche Bank analysts, market leader OpenAI may spend an astounding $143 billion by 2029. Since it may expose the public to the concerning economics underlying the AI surge, the ChatGPT creator's planned initial public offering, IPO, in the second half of 2026 may actually pose a serious risk to the sector. Nvidia will most likely be among the last to experience the effects of AI uncertainty because it is a pick-and-shovel hardware manufacturer. When others fail, it can still prevail. However, the company's impressive gross margin, which is usually over 70%, may start to decline if demand decreases. In 2026, will Nvidia's stock soar? Nvidia's operational boom is expected to continue, especially as the company releases new products like the Rubin class of GPUs developed expressly for AI video creation. The tech industry has already indicated that it wants to double down on AI-related expenditure in 2026. Nevertheless, as investors struggle with the increasingly uncertain future of this new technology, Nvidia's stock price rise is probably going to be small. The chip titan and the most valuable business in the world by market capitalization, Nvidia, is gradually changing its strategy after establishing its dominance in the GPU field with its cadence of chips over the years. Nvidia's hegemonic dominance at the top of the semiconductor business was abruptly challenged after Google's Google TPU chips became widely available. The Jensen Huang-led business is taking action, though, as it is increasingly focusing on the enterprise side and catering to their particular applications. In essence, Nvidia wants to have a significant impact in the ASIC market, where Broadcom, AVGO, is the leading company. Q3 routine earnings beat. Nvidia once again exceeded their revenue and earnings projections in Q3 2025. Additionally, during the quarter, both indicators increased at a rate of more than 50%. In the same period, earnings increased by 60% to $1.30 compared to the consensus forecast of $1.26, even though the quarter's $57.1 billion in revenues reflected a 62% annual growth rate. This quarter, core data center revenues increased by 66% annually to $51.2 billion, continuing their rapid upward trajectory. Meanwhile, Nvidia's ability to manage cash flow, which once again showed promise in Q3, is what enables it to make these worthwhile purchases. During the same time, free cash flow surged at an even sharper 65% to $22.1 billion, while net cash from operating activities climbed to $23.8 billion from $17.6 billion the year before. With slightly less than $1 billion in short-term debt, Nvidia ended the quarter with a cash balance of $60.6 billion. The cash balance was actually more than 8 times greater than the $7.5 billion in long-term debt. The corporation anticipates $65 billion in revenue for Q4, representing a 65.4% yearly rise. In the meantime, Nvidia's stock has increased by more than 40% this year, despite its glaring outperformance over the years. Will Nvidia make an A1 acquisition of AI21 Labs? Equipped with such strong financials, Nvidia is using a well-trod path to become well-known in a field that is relatively new to the business: acquisitions. While the $20 billion acquisition of an AI startup Grok is praised as an important indication of the company's intention to improve its inference footing, according to recent reports, it is seeking to acquire AI21 Labs, another Israeli AI business. AI21 Labs is a large language model, LLM developer, that creates unique generative AI applications for businesses. In addition to Google, Nvidia has invested in the business, which after its most recent fundraising round in 2023 was reportedly valued at $1.4 billion. Notably, the company now emphasizes safe, adaptable on-premises and cloud deployments for clients in regulated industries and ISV partners, positioning itself as a developer of frontier models and enterprise AI stacks rather than a basic consumer app store. The Jurassic family of LLMs, Jurassic 1, Jurassic 2, developer APIs, AI21 Studio/Task APIs, user-facing writing tools, WordTune, and more recently, enterprise orchestration and AI systems, Maestro and Jamba, that promise to improve long context performance for document-centric workflows and lessen hallucinations are all part of AI21's product line. The company also boasts architectural work on long context, task-specific models, and tooling for knowledge grounding and retrieval, which it uses to sell higher-margin enterprise deployments. Customers who require accuracy, privacy restrictions, and vertical integration will find AI21's combination of IP and model design, inference optimization, and data-centric tooling appealing because to its technical focus. How will it benefit Nvidia then? To begin with, Nvidia will have access to the about 200 research engineers at AI21 who have extensive knowledge of LLM and inference. This is a valuable and strategically appealing resource for Nvidia's planned Israeli site and increased drive for AI software. Additionally, Nvidia's hardware plus software strategy, which consists of GPUs plus CUDA plus Triton, is complemented by AI21's stack for long context, low hallucination enterprise inference, which may hasten Nvidia's transition to higher value, software-driven services. Lastly, by providing vertically integrated AI systems, AI21's direct enterprise contracts and tooling provide Nvidia with a way to make money beyond silicon. Nvidia may be able to charge more than AI21's most recent public estimate of $1.4 billion, which can be explained by these three facts. Purchasing AI21 would thereby expand Nvidia's R&amp, deep presence in Israel, and hasten the commercialization of its software and services. But Nvidia needs to be aware of the possible hazards associated with integrating AI21's inference stack with its Triton, TensorRT, and NeMo software ecosystem. Analyst views on the stock of Nvidia. With a mean target price of $256, analysts have determined that the company is a consensus strong buy. This suggests a possible increase of roughly 36.5% from present levels. 44 of the 48 analysts who are following the stock have rated it as a strong buy, 2 have rated it as a moderate buy, 1 has rated it as a hold, and 1 has rated it as a strong sell. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
So is OpenAI going to go public in 2026, and is that going to be a seminal event for?
I think early 27.
Okay.
They could file maybe by the late 26, but I think that's the thing. Like SpaceX, you think about Anthropic, you think about OpenAI. Look, the reality is that people talk about bubble. Some of the best companies that haven't even gone public yet, and I think there's a supply demand for big growth names, and that's why, to me, I think investors that are saying it's a bubble, tech's done, they're doing it from the 25th floor of a New York City office building or Metro North, right? I mean, the reality is, like, for someone like me that sees it globally, sees the demand to supply is 12-1 for NVIDIA chips today in Asia.
But here's the question: is there enough energy out there to meet that supply? Because that's one of it's the biggest challenge going forward.
Look, if you think, like, the thing to me that, like, if you're just like, what could spoil the AI party?
Right.
It's not about demand, fourth industrial revolution. It's not about like the use cases. It's energy and regulation. And look, energy, that's why, like, you look what's happened on nuclear. You saw the TAE deal with, obviously Trump Media. You saw what Google's doing in terms of them buying their own energy company. I mean, energy is the biggest restriction in the U.S., but I continue to believe like nuclear is going to be the play there.
CES, it's 250, 300,000 people descend on Vegas for it. And it's been going there for 40 years. I've been going to this thing. This one feels like we might get like a seminal announcement coming out of this, whether it's a product, a service, an investment, a deal. It just feels like maybe this CES might be something where something really material pops out of Vegas.
Yeah, I agree. Because like, look, for so many years, CES is like, oh, great, a refrigerator that talks to you, a cool drone. That now it's really become like central to when you think about the AI revolution. I think when you talk about chips, when you look what's coming out of AMD, I think Nvidia is really going to double down on robotics. I think quantum is another one. If you go back a year ago, that's where Jensen was sort of quantum's like 10, 15 years away. Quantum stocks sold up. I actually think there's going to be a lot more bullish when it comes to quantum. And look, I know like half the companies that I know that are going there, they're not officially there.
Yeah.
Why are they going there? They're not going there to go to the Cosmo or go to the Wynn for dinner. They're going because they're looking for acquisition